Are you afraid of death?
Right, let me roll as well then. Clap before we start speaking.
So we're gonna transition back to just like introductions. I'm gonna be like, thanks for joining us.
What was your life like before these protests occurred?
Okay, I'm a clerk and I work from 9 to 5 on Mondays to Friday. It seems mundane, boring, but life's great after work. I hang out with my girlfriend, we go to the movies, we go to take snapshots, we go to have fun, chill, have good food. Life was easy before the extradition bill. I keep to myself a lot. I usually play video games with my friend. I just stay at my home. I seldom go out.
What's your favorite video game?
League of Legends. I love it, and I play with my friends almost every night.
What do you think a life is like for a young person living in Hong Kong? Is it just as easy and simple? Is it just as mundane as you call it?
It could be both. Like, of course, in Hong Kong, you have so much fun. You can always go places, go shopping malls, movies, video games, or something like that. But it is a bit hopeless too, because for the younger generation, you can't really buy a flat. But buying a flat doesn't mean buying a flat only. It means to have your own space, your personal space, in which you can do whatever you want. Most young people in Hong Kong, they live with their families, and in Hong Kong, we're still living in a traditional Chinese society, where we have rules and we have different hierarchies between parents and the kids. It means that young people in Hong Kong, they can't really do things they want. I dealt with that a few years ago, but I no longer live with my parents. Like, I rent a flat and I moved out, and it's much better.
So, let me ask you a question. Before these anti-extradition protests, before this greater pro-democracy movement started, were you involved much yourself in Hong Kong politics?
Not really, although I'm a voter and I vote for every election. But I don't think it is not really kind of participation, because in Hong Kong, if you want to get into the district council or the legislative council, either you are very powerful, influential, or you're the pro-Beijing, pro-government individuals. However, just look at me, I'm neither of it, and therefore I don't think I can do much with politics.
This extradition bill saga has been going on for months now. During that time, when did you actually decide to get more involved?
After Carrie Lam ignored us the second time, I feel like we had to do something. But I've got the same question, like, I'm not a politician, how could I help? But then I realized getting involved in politics doesn't mean to become a lawmaker. Actually, you could do it from the most basic level. That is to talk more with your friends, your family, to let them know what exactly is happening. Like, in this era of information boom, hardly could you get the most accurate information. However, you can still try your best to identify the real sources from those fake ones. And it is our responsibility to let people around us to know more what exactly is happening in Hong Kong. Therefore, I try to read more news, to do more fact-checking, to get to know from some authorities, say the lawmakers, to look into details what exactly is happening in the city. And then I just do the translation and tell my friends and family.
So when you're saying getting involved more in the news and getting more into fact-checking, does that mean you are a part and you actively participate in LIHKG and some of the other online forums?
Oh, you mentioned LIHKG. I think it is very famous, right? One good thing about LIHKG is it is anonymous. You don't need to use your real name, although you have to provide an ISP email. But you still can keep you masked and keep your identity anonymous. That is
Why do you think it's so? Sorry to interrupt. Why do you think it's so important to keep your identity anonymous during this whole situation?
because we see Hong Kong is becoming more and more China. Okay, China. Okay, you should be Chinese, right? But the whole system in Hong Kong is not really favoring us. Like we have the police, we have some probation people who can seize your identity, who can know what exactly you're doing, and you are being monitored. You are under surveillance. In this way, if you can keep your identity anonymous, then things will come more handy. In China, we have so many ways to monitor every citizen. We have the Great Wall, we have the Weibo, we have CCTV. They're censoring news that are that's not favoring the party will not be broadcast. Only news that are good for the country, good for China, and bad against other countries will be broadcast. And we cherish our freedom very much. Okay, in Hong Kong you have the freedom of speech, vote, that sort of thing. We want our rights not to be deprived of, and therefore we stand and we help.
Do you travel to mainland China often?
In the past, I sometimes go to mainland China because in Chinese culture, you have your hometown, even though you are born in Hong Kong. Therefore, some of us, like me, will go to China from time to time to visit our relatives. But ever since the extradition bill, I just destroyed my card and I could no longer go to mainland China.
So people have put up their umbrellas because there's a police helicopter. There's a police helicopter flying overhead, and the police helicopter have been known to spray people with blue dye to mark them as protesters, so it's easier for them to identify later. That's why people have their umbrellas up now.
Helicopter actually spreaded some powder to make you some color, so that they will see whether you joined the demonstration or not. So that's why even the last Sunday there was a helicopter flying on the sky. Also, so that's why when the helicopter appears, so everyone will open the umbrella to protect. Yes. It's really unacceptable that the helicopter, that means the government will use this way to distinguish who are the protesters or not. You can see at this moment we are really peacefully to hold the demonstration, just express our opinions. Actually, this is our right from the law. So I think it is really, really ridiculous and unacceptable that the government use this way to stop or to threaten us to come out. Actually, this is our right. You see, I don't have any weapons. I just hold the banner to express my will. Really, really, this is not Hong Kong. It is really, can't imagine that Hong Kong will change just within few months.
So the police are up there on the bridge monitoring the crowd. The mood has instantly changed into just anger. People are shouting abuse at the police, and they're just not happy that they're here. There is a lot of animosity and hatred for the police.